another, school 5 days a week, curfew, no cell phone till I'm mature enough, no driving till I'm 16, no dating, grounded, being dragged to family vacations when I'd rather stay home with my friends. For myself, and maybe some of you, I just described the things we loathe most about growing up. The rules, the restrictions, the lack of freedom. It seemed like it was never going to end. I can't wait to drive, I can't wait to go to college, I can't wait to move out. I think these are things we all have said, one time or another, but did we actually mean it? I also think I can speak for all of us when I say, a 9 o'clock bedtime after a long day sounds amazing. Getting woken up at 8 a.m. by your mom sounds a whole lot better than waking up at 6 by a loud and obnoxious alarm. And school. For most working adults, although I'm not one of them yet, school sounds like summer vacation compared to an everyday 9 to 5 or earlier job. No cell phone till I'm mature enough. Well, I'm only 20 and still not exactly mature, but I know for a fact that life before the cell phone era was much more simple. It was called face-to-face communication and a landline. No reading in between the lines of text messages, and not to mention a phone bill. No driving till I'm 16. Well, worrying about skyrocketing gas prices, car insurance, and that tree I just backed into, which did happen, are not thoughts that remotely crossed my mind when I was a child. As for dating, if I would have known the horrors of relationships that were in store for me when I was 10, I never would have grown up. When I finally went off to college, it was a whole new chapter of my life, as for many of us. Being away from home, being independent, making new friends, and doing my own laundry, it's an entirely different world. Many people say, I miss high school, or I didn't realize how good I had it. The same applies to moving out. Bills, laundry, cleaning, cooking. For the majority of us, our parents took care of all of that. So why couldn't I wait to grow up again? Why is it that we are always counting down to the next chapter of our lives, yet once we reach what we want, we become nostalgic for the past? I find myself constantly wishing I was back in elementary school when I had zero responsibilities or worries for my future. So I want to pay a tribute to childhood, the chapter in our lives that all of us take for granted and at one point or another wish we could have back. I know many people might have different opinions about this, since not all of us are fortunate enough to have grown up in an ideal situation, but being young and innocent and not even realizing how good we had it is something we can now only obtain in our memories. Childhood does not just provide us a period of time to be crazy and immature, but without even realizing it, childhood is much like a second school teacher. It is preparing us for our future in ways our teachers were completely incapable of doing. Our mistakes helped us grow into better individuals and shape us into the mature adults we are today, and some of us are still working on that. Childhood is life's most important education. At the time, it seemed like we would never grow up, and now we wish we didn't. Since we cannot get these blissful, carefree years back, I think it's important to take time to reflect back and appreciate how wonderful childhood really is and how special a time it is to every person. The years of pure fun and lack of responsibility, carefree attitude, and the important life lessons that it taught us. Whether we had a positive or negative childhood experience, we have one thing in common, and that is it affects us. Kids who grow up in an unstable home learn to compensate and grow, therefore becoming stronger people. On the flip side, some may not. Some people become weakened by their negative experiences, and they suffer from numerous psychological issues later on in life. But these hardships affect everybody differently, but important lessons can always be learned from them and help to build our character. Childhood is the beginning chapter of our lives that test where we will be and who we will be in the future. Our experiences as children are the foundation of our adulthood and are the basis of how we will deal with future opportunities. It is up to us, however, to not let our negative experiences determine our ultimate fate in life. Experiences of being bullied as a child may affect your confidence as an adolescent, but as you grow up, those traumatic experiences help you realize just how tough you are and how normally those kids were just going through a rough time of their own and projecting their anger. Experiences, good and bad, have a way of sometimes laying dormant inside of us and coming to the surface at the right time. Oftentimes they can inspire us to do really great things and can even spark an idea for a future business or career. This period of time helps to shape our character. Many of us have said, I want to grow up to be just like my dad, or I hope I don't turn into my mom. It is up to us to either fit or break these molds. Childhood is important because this is when we shape our character, it's when we build our strengths and weaknesses, it is when we become who we are meant to be. It is the period of time we are put to the test without even knowing it. This journey in life prepares us for everything. A great thing about childhood and growing up is the way we think, or I should say don't think. As children, our minds are free, filled with creativity and curiosity. As we all know, curiosity can oftentimes lead to trouble, but it can also be useful in many ways to help us grow as people and learn. Our minds were not so cluttered with the everyday thoughts and worries we as adults, and especially teenagers, experience. Money, death, relationships, body image, these stressors were non-existent when we were children. Growing up, we could experience every moment in life for exactly what it was. We lived in the moment without worrying about our future and what it had in store for us. Our dreams were our future. Our mistakes made us who we are today. With our imaginations wide open, we are not inhibited by other people's thoughts. Growing up, outside opinions become more and more important to every decision we make in life. We have all faced this at one point. As a kid, you just don't care. Other people's opinions are not even relevant. You did what you wanted or what you were told to do, and enjoyed the smallest things in life. One of the greatest things about childhood is just the pure innocence and creativity that runs through us. The carefree attitude is a trait many of us strive to adopt as adults today. How many of us would wish to rid our lives of the day-to-day insecurities we feel, whether it be financial insecurity or physical insecurity? As we grow up, and especially during adolescence, our lives can be consumed with this, and we are constantly unsure if what we are doing is right. As we age, however, many of these trivial insecurities tend to diminish, but to be young again and not care so much if you have the best outfit on, it simply did not matter. Nor did responsibility. There are no bills to pay, no assignments for class, no worrying of finding a job and keeping a job, child rearing, household duties, making your marriage successful, the list goes on. These things are non-existent to a child. Responsibility is not even in the vocabulary. The responsibilities during childhood include going to school for a few hours and eating your vegetables at dinner. Our lives were easy and free, yet for some reason, none of us actually knew how great we had it until we started gaining more and more responsibility each year. It makes me wonder why I was in such a rush to get older. However, I must say, there are definitely positives as you grow up, like the freedom and trust that many of us gain from our parents. And I love being able to drive myself places without having to bother anybody. And not having a curfew is also a bonus as well. There are great things about every stage in our life, but childhood just seems to be the ultimate vacation. Each generation grows up faster and faster these days with the media and the social networking boom. I wish someone would just tell them to slow down and relax, cherish these amazing years while you still have them. So, in closing, I wanted to take the time to reflect back to the time in all of our lives when what we were learning by just living was ultimately much more influential than what we were learning sitting in the classroom. Childhood is filled with great things despite a person's situation. We didn't think as much, and maybe that was bad in some instances, but impulsive decisions can often lead to the most successful situations. Life was just not as complicated. Our memories kept our important moments in life alive, not being tagged in silly pictures on Facebook, and what we all would not give to be able to take naps during the day again and only have coloring for homework instead of writing the speech. To simply not care so much about what others have to say and just live life for ourselves and what makes us happy. As we age, we learn to do this better and better, and we become more independent and mature. We adapt and gain our ever so desired freedom, and we accept the responsibilities that come with it. Many may not agree with me on this topic because everyone has a different childhood growing up, but I still think that being woken up at 8 or 12 by my mom is much better than 6 in the morning by my cell phone.